Everyone called me crazy, until a neighbor showed up at church wearing my husband's watch. Not a watch that looked like his, not a similar watch. His watch. The one his grandfather gave him. The one with the inscription on the back. The one he wore every single day for 17 years. The one he told me he lost at the gym 6 months ago. My name is Monica Harper. I'm 41 years old. And this is the story of how I was gaslit, dismissed, and called paranoid for months, until a gold Rolex on a neighbor's wrist proved I'd been right all along. Let me start at the moment everything came to light, because you need to understand what it felt like to finally be vindicated after months of being told I was losing my mind. It was Sunday, November 3rd, 2024, Pastor Appreciation Sunday at Covenant Life Church. We were celebrating Pastor Jenkins's 20 years of service. The sanctuary was packed, 400 people. The choir was singing. The energy was high. I was sitting in the 5th row with my husband, Derek. We'd been married for 17 years. He was 43, worked as a sales manager for a pharmaceutical company. We had 2 kids, Jordan, 16, and Maya, 13. We looked like the perfect family. We weren't, but I was the only one who seemed to know that. For the past 6 months, I'd felt something was wrong, off, different. Derek was distant, distracted. He came home later, worked on weekends more. His phone was always face down. He showered as soon as he got home instead of relaxing first. Little things. Things that individually meant nothing. But together, they formed a pattern. I'd tried to talk to him about it. "Is everything okay?" I'd ask. "You seem distant." "I'm fine," he'd say. "Just stressed with work. You're overthinking." "Are we okay?" I'd press. "We're fine, Monica." "Why are you always looking for problems?" I started paying closer attention, checking his phone when he was in the shower, looking at credit card statements, asking more questions about where he'd been, and he turned it all around on me. "You're being paranoid. You're being insecure. You're being controlling. You need to trust me." When I confided in my sister Tamara, she said, "Girl, you're tripping. Derek loves you. You're just going through something. Maybe you need to see a therapist." When I mentioned it to my best friend Latoya, she said, "Monica, you sound obsessed. You're going to push him away with all this suspicion." When I tried to talk to my mother, she said, "Baby, sometimes when we get to a certain age, we start feeling insecure. Don't let your insecurities destroy your marriage." Even our marriage counselor, we'd gone to 2 sessions before Derek refused to go back, said, "Mrs. Harper, I'm hearing a lot of anxiety from you. Have you considered that your fears might be creating problems that don't exist?" Everyone told me I was imagining things, that I was being irrational, that I was the problem. And slowly, I started to believe them, started to doubt myself, started to wonder if I really was losing my mind. Until that Sunday morning, until I saw the watch. During the offering, people were standing, moving around, greeting each other. That's when I saw her. Cynthia Morrison, our neighbor. She lived 3 houses down. 37 years old, single, pretty, always friendly. She was standing in the aisle talking to someone, and the light caught something on her wrist. A watch, a gold Rolex with a black face and diamond markers. My heart stopped. I knew that watch. I'd seen that watch every day for 17 years. On my husband's wrist, at breakfast, at dinner, in church, on vacation, in photos. That was Derek's watch, his grandfather's watch. The one with, "To Daniel, with love, Margaret 1952, engraved on the back. Daniel was Derek's grandfather. Margaret was his grandmother. The watch Derek told me he'd lost at the gym in May. The watch he'd been devastated about losing. The watch I'd helped him search for. The watch we'd called the gym about multiple times. That watch was on Cynthia Morrison's wrist. I must have made a sound, because Derek turned to me. "You okay?" I couldn't speak, couldn't move, just stared at Cynthia, at the watch. "Monica?" Derek followed my gaze, saw what I was looking at, and I watched his face change. The color drained, his jaw clenched, his hand gripped the pew. He knew I'd seen it. And he knew I knew. "Is that your watch?" I whispered. "What? No, that's not—" He was stammering. Derek never stammered. "That's your grandfather's watch, on Cynthia's wrist. You can't possibly tell from here. I've been looking at that watch for 17 years, Derek. I know what it looks like." People around us were starting to notice, starting to sense the tension. "We'll talk about this at home," Derek said quietly, firmly, the tone he used when he wanted to shut down a conversation. But I was done being shut down. I stood up, walked down the aisle, straight toward Cynthia. She saw me coming, and the guilty look on her face confirmed everything. "Cynthia," I said. My voice was calm, too calm. "That's a beautiful watch." "Oh, thank you." She tried to cover it with her other hand. "Where did you get it?" "It was a gift." "From whom?" She looked past me, at Derek, who was standing now, trying to decide whether to come over or run. "Cynthia," I said, "I'm going to ask you one more time. Where did you get that watch?" Her eyes filled with tears. "Monica, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for— That's my husband's watch, his grandfather's watch, the one he told me he lost, and you're wearing it." The people around us had gone silent. Pastor Jenkins had stopped speaking. The entire church was watching. "I'm sorry," Cynthia whispered. "I'm so sorry." And just like that, 6 months of being called crazy, paranoid, insecure, 6 months of doubting myself, questioning my sanity, wondering if I was losing my mind, all of it was validated. I wasn't crazy. I was right. Let me take you back to the beginning, because you need to understand what that watch meant before I tell you how it ended up on my neighbor's wrist. I met Derek Harper in 2005. I was 22. He was 24. We met at Covenant Life Church, the same church where all of this would eventually unravel. I'd grown up in that church. My parents were founding members. I was saved there at 9 years old, baptized at 12, sang in the choir, taught Sunday school. Derek had just moved to Atlanta from Chicago for a job. He was looking for a church home, visited Covenant Life one Sunday, and never left. We met at a young adult Bible study. He was smart, articulate, handsome, had his life together. He was a sales rep for a medical supply company, ambitious, driven. But what drew me to him most was his faith. He loved God, loved the Word, loved the church. He wanted to serve, wanted to lead, wanted to build a family on a foundation of faith. We dated for 2 years, got engaged in 2006, married in 2007 at Covenant Life. It was beautiful, traditional, everything I'd dreamed of. On our wedding day, Derek's grandfather, Daniel Harper, pulled him aside. I watched from across the room, saw Daniel take off his watch, the gold Rolex he'd worn for 50 years, and put it on Derek's wrist. Later, Derek told me what his grandfather said. "This watch has been with me through everything. World War II, building my business, 52 years of marriage to your grandmother. Every important moment of my life, this watch was there. Now it's yours. Wear it. Remember where you come from. Remember what matters, and every time you look at it, remember your covenant." Derek wore that watch every day from that moment on, through Jordan's birth in 2008, through Maya's birth in 2011, through career changes and moves and struggles and triumphs. That watch was his connection to his grandfather, who passed in 2009, his reminder of covenant, of faithfulness, of legacy. And then in May 2024, he came home and said he'd lost it. I remember the day clearly. It was a Tuesday evening. He walked in from work, looking upset. "What's wrong?" I asked. "I lost Granddad's watch." "What? How?" "At the gym. I took it off to shower after my workout, put it in my locker. When I came back, it was gone. Someone must have stolen it." "Did you report it?" "Yeah. Talked to the manager. They're checking cameras, but I don't think we'll find it. It's been hours." He was devastated. Or at least, he seemed devastated. We called the gym multiple times over the next few weeks, filed a police report, checked pawn shops. Nothing. "I can't believe I lost it," he kept saying. "Granddad trusted me with it, and I lost it. I comforted him, told him it wasn't his fault, that his grandfather would understand, that the watch was just an object, the memories and the legacy were what mattered. But even as I said it, something felt off. Derek worked out at home most of the time. He rarely went to the gym. Why that day? Why did he take the watch off? He usually wore it in the shower, in bed, everywhere. I pushed the thought aside, told myself I was being paranoid. But that's when other things started happening. Small things. Things that made my internal alarm bells ring. He started working late more often. Big account, he'd say. Need to put in the extra hours. He started going to the gym more, which was odd because he'd always preferred working out at home. His phone habits changed. He used to leave it on the counter while he showered. Now it went everywhere with him. Bathroom, shower, even when he went to get the mail. When I asked about his day, he was vague. Fine, busy, the usual. We used to watch TV together after the kids went to bed. Now he'd say he was tired and go to bed early. But I'd hear him on his phone in the bedroom. We used to make love regularly. Now there was always an excuse. Too tired, too stressed, too much going on at work. I started asking questions. Who are you texting? Why are you working so late? Why don't we spend time together anymore? And that's when the gaslighting began. You're being paranoid. You're making something out of nothing. I can't even look at my phone without you getting suspicious. You're pushing me away with your accusations. Maybe you're the one with something to hide if you're this obsessed with what I'm doing. He turned everything around on me. Made me the villain. Made me the problem. And when I'd push back, he'd say, I think you need to see someone. This level of anxiety isn't healthy. My family and friends agreed. Monica, you're obsessing, my sister Tamara said. You're going to ruin your marriage. Girl, you need to chill, Latoya said. You're acting crazy. Baby, you're letting your imagination run wild, my mother said. So I tried to stop, tried to trust, tried to believe I was the problem, but I couldn't shake the feeling. Something was wrong. I knew it. I felt it. I started checking things when he wasn't looking, his phone, his email, his credit card statements, his car. And he caught me, more than once. Are you going through my phone? Anger, betrayal, offense. I'm sorry, You just what? Don't trust me? After 17 years? No, it's not that. Then what is it, Monica? Because this behavior is not okay. You're violating my privacy. You're treating me like a criminal. I'm sorry. I was always apologizing. You're right. I'll stop. But I didn't stop. I couldn't. Because every fiber of my being was screaming that something was wrong. Let me pause here to recap what I've told you, because I know this is heavy. My name is Monica Harper. I'm 41, married to Derek for 17 years, with 2 kids. 6 months ago, Derek said he lost his grandfather's watch, a family heirloom with deep meaning. Around the same time, he became distant, working late, protective of his phone. I started suspecting something was wrong, but when I brought it up, he gaslit me. Everyone, my husband, my family, my friends, told me I was being paranoid, insecure, crazy. I started doubting myself, wondering if I really was losing my mind. Until today, Pastor Appreciation Sunday, when I saw our neighbor Cynthia wearing Derek's lost watch at church. Now let me tell you what led up to this moment and what happened next. In July, 2 months after the watch disappeared, I decided to follow Derek. I'm not proud of it, but I was desperate. Desperate to either confirm my suspicions or prove myself wrong. Because living in this limbo, not knowing if I was crazy or if my marriage was falling apart, was destroying me. One Wednesday evening, Derek said he had to work late. Big presentation tomorrow. Need to prep. Okay, I said. What time will you be home? Probably around 9. After he left, I called Latoya, asked if she could watch the kids, told her I had to run an errand. Then I got in my car and drove to Derek's office building downtown. His car was in the parking garage. I parked a few rows away, waited. At 6:45, he came out, got in his car, started driving. I followed him, kept my distance. My heart was pounding. My hands were shaking. He didn't go to a restaurant, didn't go to a hotel. He drove to our neighborhood, and he pulled into Cynthia Morrison's driveway. Our neighbor, the woman who lived 3 houses down, the woman who always waved when we passed, the woman who'd brought us cookies when we moved in 5 years ago. I parked down the street, watched him get out of his car, walk up to her front door. She opened it. He went inside. The door closed. I sat there for 2 hours. He didn't come out. At 9 o'clock, he texted me, "Heading home now. See you soon." 10 minutes later, he drove past me, didn't see me, went home. I waited another 10 minutes. Then I drove home. He was in the kitchen when I walked in. "Hey, baby, how was your night?" "Fine. Yours?" "Exhausting. That presentation is going to kill me." "I'm sure?" I kept my voice neutral. "I'm going to bed." "Okay, I'll be up in a bit." I went upstairs, lay in bed, and started planning what I was going to do. The next day, I called Cynthia. "Hey, it's Monica from down the street. I was wondering if you had a minute to talk." "Oh, hi, Monica. Sure, what's up?" "I'm planning a surprise party for Derek's birthday next month. I wanted to invite the neighbors. Are you free on the 15th? "The 15th? Let me check." "Yeah, I think so. That's so sweet. Derek's such a great guy." "He is, isn't he?" My voice was poison disguised as sugar. "He speaks highly of you, too. Says you're a really good friend." There was a pause. "Oh, that's nice. You two have gotten pretty close, haven't you?" Another pause. Longer this time. We're just neighbors." "Right, neighbors. Who spend Wednesday evenings together." Silence. "Cynthia, I know my husband was at your house last night." "Monica, I can explain." I hung up. Then I called Derek. "We need to talk." "About what?" "About why you were at Cynthia's house last night when you told me you were working late." Silence. Then, "You followed me?" "Yes." "Monica, that's stalking. That's crazy behavior." "Don't." My voice was steel. "Don't you dare call me crazy. I followed you because you've been lying to me, and I was right. You were at her house." "It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" "She's been going through some financial issues. I've been helping her. With budgeting. Financial planning. That's it. For 2 hours? In her house? At night?" "Yes. It takes time to go through finances." "Monica, you're blowing this out of proportion." "I want to see your phone." "What? No. If there's nothing to hide, show me your phone." "This is ridiculous. I'm not doing this. You either trust me or you don't." "I don't." "Then maybe we need to talk about whether this marriage is working." He turned it around. Again. Made me the problem. Made my lack of trust the issue, not his lies. We fought for hours that night. He denied everything. Said I was paranoid. Said I was destroying our marriage with my suspicions. Said if I didn't trust him, maybe we shouldn't be together. And I started to wonder, was I wrong? Was I destroying something good because of my insecurities? I confided in my mother the next day. Told her everything. The late nights. The phone habits. Following him to Cynthia's house. "Monica," she said. Her voice was disappointed. "You followed your husband? Baby, that's not healthy. That's not what a wife should do." "But Mom, he was at another woman's house, helping her with her finances, which is what he does for a living. You're taking an innocent situation and making it something dark because you're insecure." "I'm not insecure." "Then what do you call following your husband around? Going through his phone? Accusing him of cheating when you have no proof? That's insecurity, baby. And if you don't deal with it, you're going to lose your husband." I hung up feeling worse than before. Everyone was telling me the same thing. I was the problem. I was being crazy. So I stopped. Stopped checking his phone. Stopped asking questions. Stopped following him. And I tried to believe that I was wrong. That Derek was faithful. That our marriage was fine. But then things got worse. In September, Derek told me he was going to a sales conference in Miami. 3 days, Thursday through Saturday. "Okay," I said. "Where are you staying?" The Hilton downtown. I'll text you the info. He left Thursday morning. I helped him pack, kissed him goodbye, told myself to trust him. That evening, I was doing laundry in Jordan's room. He was out with friends. I was putting clothes away in his closet when I heard a noise outside. I looked out his bedroom window. It faced the street, and I saw Derek's car, parked in Cynthia's driveway. My husband, who was supposed to be in Miami, was 3 houses down. I stood there, frozen, staring at his car, trying to process what I was seeing. Then I saw him, walking from her backyard to his car, looking around to make sure no one saw him, getting in, driving away. He wasn't in Miami. He was having an affair with our neighbor, 3 houses down from where his children slept. I called him immediately. "Hey, how's Miami?" "Good. Just got to the hotel. About to grab dinner." "Which hotel again?" "The Hilton, I told you." "Right. What's the room number, in case I need to reach you?" 412, but just call my cell if you need me." "Okay, have a good night." "You too, baby. Love you." "Love you too." I hung up, and I knew, with absolute certainty, my husband was a liar, a cheater, and he was gaslighting me to cover it up. But I had no proof, just my word against his. And everyone already thought I was crazy, so I did something I never thought I'd do. I hired a private investigator. His name was Marcus Johnson. He was a retired police officer, specialized in infidelity cases. "I need proof," I told him. "Everyone thinks I'm paranoid, but I know I'm right. I just need proof." "I understand, Mrs. Harper. Give me 2 weeks." It took him 5 days. He called me the following Wednesday. "Mrs. Harper, can you meet me? I have what you need." We met at a coffee shop across town. He handed me a folder. Inside were photos, Derek and Cynthia, entering her house together, leaving together, kissing in her doorway, him arriving in the middle of the day when he was supposed to be at work, her wearing his clothes, his shirt, walking him to his car at dawn. There were credit card statements, charges at restaurants, hotels, jewelry stores. All the charges he told me were for work dinners and client entertainment. There were text messages. Marcus had somehow accessed Derek's phone records. The messages were deleted from Derek's phone, but the records showed hundreds of texts between him and Cynthia. Every day, multiple times a day. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Harper," Marcus said, "but you were right." I sat there looking at the evidence. The proof I'd been desperate for, the validation I'd needed. And I felt nothing, just emptiness. "Thank you," I said quietly. "How much do I owe you?" He told me. I paid him, took the folder, and went home. That night I confronted Derek, showed him the photos, the statements, the records. He tried to deny it at first. "This is fake. You manufactured this. Derek, stop." He looked at the photos again, at Cynthia wearing his shirt, at him kissing her. "How long?" I asked. He sat down, put his head in his hands. A year, not 6 months, a whole year. The watch? I gave it to her, for her birthday, March, before you told me it was lost. Yes, so you gave away your family heirloom, your grandfather's watch, a symbol of covenant, to your mistress, then lied to me about it for 7 months. I'm sorry. How did it start? Does it matter? Yes, he sighed. She moved in 5 years ago. We were friendly, neighbors. Then she started having financial problems. Asked if I could help. We started meeting for coffee, going over her budget, and it just developed. You just happened to fall into bed with her? It wasn't like that. Then what was it like, Derek? Explain to me how a man who stands up in church every Sunday and talks about covenant and faithfulness can spend a year sleeping with our neighbor while making his wife think she's losing her mind. I don't know, Monica. I don't know how it happened, but it did. And I'm sorry. Everyone called me crazy. My sister, my friends, my mother, you. And you knew the whole time that I was right. I didn't mean for it to go this far. But it did. You chose to lie. You chose to cheat. You chose to gaslight me instead of just being honest. What are you going to do? I'm going to tell the truth. to everyone who called me crazy, to our pastor, to the church, because I'm done being the villain in your story. Monica, please. Think about the kids. I am thinking about the kids. I'm thinking about what it would teach them if I stayed with a man who disrespects me, lies to me, and makes me question my sanity. I'm thinking about what kind of model that would be. I left the room, went to our bedroom, and locked the door. The next morning, I told the kids, age appropriately, but honestly, Dad and I are going to separate. Dad made some choices that hurt our marriage. It's not about you. We both love you. But Mom and Dad need to live apart for a while. Jordan, 16, looked at me with knowing eyes. Is he cheating on you? Yes. With Miss Cynthia? My heart broke. You knew? I saw his car there, a few times, when he was supposed to be at work. I didn't want to say anything because I thought maybe I was wrong. I hugged him. You weren't wrong, and neither was I. That Sunday, October 27th, I went to church alone. Derek stayed home. The kids stayed with him. I sat in my usual spot. 5th row, right side, the seat where I'd sat for nearly 20 years. But this time, I sat alone. People asked where Derek was. I smiled. He's not feeling well. I saw Cynthia. She was there, sitting in the back, wearing a modest dress, looking like she belonged. And on her wrist was Derek's watch. His grandfather's watch, the symbol of covenant. She was wearing it to church, in front of me, in front of God, in front of the community, the audacity. That's when I decided I wasn't going to stay quiet anymore. I wasn't going to protect Derek's reputation. I wasn't going to let people keep thinking I was crazy. The truth was going to come out. That very day. Let me pause once more to recap. After following Derek to Cynthia's house, I hired a private investigator who confirmed the affair with photos, credit card statements, and phone records. The affair had been going on for a year, not 6 months. Derek gave Cynthia his grandfather's watch in March, before telling me it was lost in May. When I confronted him with proof, he finally admitted everything. I told the kids we were separating. The following Sunday, October 27th, I went to church alone. Cynthia was there, sitting in the back, wearing Derek's watch. I decided then that I was done staying quiet. The truth was coming out. Now let me tell you what happened on Pastor Appreciation Sunday, 1 week later, when everyone finally saw what I'd been seeing all along. Which brings us back to November 3rd, Pastor Appreciation Sunday, the day everything came to light. After I confronted Cynthia in the aisle, after the entire church had gone silent, after she'd admitted the watch was a gift, Pastor Jenkins called for order. Family, he said from the pulpit, let's all take a breath. Sister Monica, Sister Cynthia, please come to my office. Brother Derek, you too. Derek stood up. His face was ashen. He knew there was no talking his way out of this. We went to the pastor's office. The 3 of us. Plus Pastor Jenkins and First Lady Jenkins. Pastor Jenkins closed the door. Someone want to tell me what's going on? I looked at Cynthia. Show him the watch. She hesitated, then held out her wrist. Pastor Jenkins looked at it, looked at Derek. Is this your watch, Brother Derek? Your grandfather's watch? Derek nodded. The one you told Sister Monica was stolen? Another nod. And how did Sister Cynthia come to have it? Silence. Brother Derek, I asked you a question. I gave it to her. His voice was barely a whisper. Why would you give your grandfather's watch, a family heirloom, to your neighbor? More silence. First Lady Jenkins spoke up. Because they're having an affair. Everyone looked at her. She looked at Cynthia. How long? Cynthia was crying now. A year. And you've been coming to this church, sitting under this teaching, pretending to be a faithful single woman while sleeping with a married man? A married deacon? I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. First Lady's voice was sharp. You owe God an apology. You owe Sister Monica an apology. You owe this church an apology. But most of all, you owe yourself enough respect to stop accepting scraps from someone else's table. Pastor Jenkins turned to Derek. Brother Derek, You're going to step down from all leadership positions immediately. Deacon board, men's ministry, marriage counseling team, everything. Pastor, please. This isn't a punishment. It's a consequence. You violated your marriage covenant. You lied to your wife. You gaslit her. You made her question her sanity while you carried on an affair with a neighbor. Those are not the actions of a man in spiritual leadership. What about forgiveness? What about restoration? Forgiveness is between you and God, and hopefully you and your wife. But restoration to leadership? That requires time, repentance, and proven change, none of which you've demonstrated. He turned to me. Sister Monica, I owe you an apology. We all do. You came to me 2 months ago expressing concerns about your marriage. And I told you to trust your husband more, to work on your insecurities. I was wrong, and I'm sorry. Tears streamed down my face. Thank you. What do you need from us right now? I need the truth to be known. I need people to stop calling me crazy. My voice broke. I need to not be the villain anymore. You were never the villain, and we're going to make sure everyone knows that. That afternoon, Pastor Jenkins called an emergency board meeting. Derek's behavior was addressed, his resignation accepted. The following Sunday, Pastor Jenkins made an announcement to the church. Family, we need to address something. 2 weeks ago, there was an incident during our service. It's been the subject of much speculation and gossip, so I'm going to tell you the truth. Brother Derek Harper has been having an affair for the past year with a member of this church. Sister Monica Harper discovered this affair, and when she tried to address it, both privately and with church leadership, she was dismissed, told she was being paranoid, insecure. Some even called her crazy. She was none of those things. She was a wife who knew her husband, who sensed something was wrong, and who was right. Brother Derek has stepped down from all leadership positions. He and Sister Cynthia Morrison have both been asked to not attend services here for a season while they seek counseling and work on their individual relationships with God. Sister Monica has been through unimaginable pain, not just from the betrayal itself, but from being gaslit, from being made to question her reality, from being called crazy when she was actually seeing clearly. This is a reminder to all of us. When someone comes to us with concerns, we listen. We don't dismiss, we don't minimize, we don't gaslight. And to any woman listening who's been told she's crazy for trusting her instincts, you're not crazy. Your intuition is a gift from God. Don't let anyone steal that from you. The church erupted in applause. Women were standing, crying, saying amen and preach. Mother Diane, one of the elder saints, stood up. Pastor, can I say something? Of course, Mother. She turned to face the congregation. I've been married for 52 years, and let me tell you something. A woman knows. She always knows. When something is off, when something is wrong, she feels it in her spirit. But too often, we dismiss women's intuition. We call them emotional, paranoid, crazy. And then when the truth comes out, we act surprised. Sister Monica, I want you to know I believe you. I'm sorry I didn't believe you sooner, and I promise you I will never again tell a woman she's crazy for trusting what she knows. Other women stood up, shared their own stories. Times they'd been called crazy, times they'd been gaslit, times they'd been right but dismissed. It was like a dam breaking. Years of silenced voices suddenly finding permission to speak. And I stood there, watching, and felt something I hadn't felt in months. Validated. I filed for divorce 2 weeks later. Derek didn't contest it. He knew he had no ground to stand on. The divorce was finalized in March 2025. 17 years of marriage ended. Some people at church were disappointed, thought I should have given him another chance, thought I was being unforgiving, unchristian. But Mother Jacobs, one of the church mothers, pulled me aside after service one Sunday. Baby girl, she said, don't let anyone make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. Covenant is a two-way street. You kept your end. He broke his. You're not obligated to stay in a broken covenant. God's grace is big enough to cover divorce when there's been adultery. But I forgave him, I said. Doesn't forgiveness require reconciliation? No, baby. Forgiveness is for you. Reconciliation requires two people, both committed to rebuilding trust. If you're not ready or able to do that, that's okay. God understands, and so do I. Those words freed me in a way I can't describe. Today I'm 42 years old, divorced, living alone for the first time in my adult life, and I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. I'm discovering who Monica is outside of being Derek's wife. I'm traveling, taking classes, serving in new ministries at church. I still attend Covenant Life Church, still sitting in the 5th row, still teaching Sunday school, still serving. But I'm different now, stronger, more sure of myself, more trusting of my instincts. And I'm a voice for women who are being gaslit, who are being called crazy, who know something is wrong, but everyone around them is saying they're imagining it. I tell them, trust yourself, trust your instincts, trust what you know, because you're not crazy. You're seeing clearly, and eventually, the truth will come out. It always does. Derek remarried 6 months after our divorce was finalized. Not to Cynthia. That relationship ended shortly after the affair was exposed. To someone else he met at a different church. I don't wish him ill. I genuinely hope he's learned, that he's become a better man, that he's honoring his new covenant. But that's not my concern anymore. My concern is living my own life with integrity and faith. As I look back on everything that happened, I'm struck by God's timing. The watch came back into view on Pastor Appreciation Sunday, in front of the whole church, as if God was saying, the truth will come out, not in your timing, but in mine. That watch, Derek's grandfather's watch, became the instrument of revelation. The very thing Derek gave away as a symbol of his betrayal became the proof of it. Because you can't give away a covenant symbol and expect it to stay hidden forever. I got the watch back. It's in a safe deposit box now. I can't look at it yet. It's too tainted by betrayal. But maybe one day, I'll be able to give it to Jordan. Let him carry on his great-grandfather's legacy. Because the watch isn't just about Derek's betrayal. It's about Daniel and Margaret's covenant, their faithfulness, and that's worth preserving. Proverbs 12:19 says, "Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment." For a year, Derek's lies lasted. He convinced me I was crazy, convinced others I was the problem, built an entire narrative where I was the villain and he was the victim of my paranoia. But lies don't endure. They collapse under their own weight. They're exposed by things as simple as a watch on the wrong wrist. God has a way of bringing truth to light, not always in our timing, not always in the way we expect, but always with purpose. That watch became the instrument of revelation. The very thing Derek gave away as a symbol of his betrayal became the proof of it. Because you can't give away a covenant symbol and expect it to stay hidden forever. If you're listening to this story and you're being called crazy for trusting your instincts, I want you to hear me. You're not crazy. Your intuition is a gift. That feeling in your gut, that voice in your spirit that says, something is wrong, listen to it. Don't let anyone gaslight you. Don't let anyone make you question what you know. Don't let anyone steal your voice or your truth. And if people don't believe you, keep speaking. Keep trusting yourself. Keep seeking truth. Because eventually, it will come to light. Maybe not at an altar call. Maybe not through a watch on a neighbor's wrist. But it will come out. Truth always does. If this story resonated with you, if it gave you courage to trust yourself, if it reminded you that you're not crazy, would you do me a favor? Hit that like button. Let me know you heard this. Let me know it mattered, and leave a comment. Tell me your story if you feel safe. Or just let me know you're praying for someone who's being gaslit right now. Your voice matters. Your witness matters. And please, subscribe to Sister Circle Stories. We're building a community of women who refuse to be silenced, who refuse to be gaslit, who refuse to accept lies as truth. We're telling our stories, we're reclaiming our voices, and we're reminding each other, you're not crazy, you're seeing clearly, and your truth matters. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for believing me when others didn't. May God give you clarity to see truth. May He give you courage to speak it. And may He give you strength to trust yourself even when others tell you not to. Stay faithful, stay strong, stay true to yourself. And remember, you're not crazy. You're seeing clearly. And the truth will always, always come to light. God bless you, sisters.